Hey there, welcome to the Camden Famous podcast. I'm your host, April Shaw-Beaudoin. Whether you're a local, a seasonal visitor, or just curious about Mid-Coast Maine, you're in the right spot. We dive into the stories behind the must-visit places, from cozy eateries and unique shops to can't-miss attractions. For more insights and to join our community, check out our website at camdenfamous.com or follow us on Instagram at camdenfamous. Let's explore the best of Mid-Coast Maine together. The Camden Famous podcast is brought to you by The Wharf at Lyman Morse. The Wharf is a beautiful waterfront destination on the sunny side of Camden Harbor. The Wharf at Lyman Morse offers a one-of-a-kind dining, shopping, and lodging experience. Plus, don't miss the sunset over Camden Harbor from the Salt Wharf, their rooftop restaurant and bar. Visit thewharfcamden.com. That's the WHARF Camden.com to start your adventure today. Today we welcome Suzanne Vizethann, Atlanta chef turned Rockport local, now opening Buttermilk Kitchen at Mariners in Camden. Learn about her cookbook, Chopped Victory on the Food Network, and new local flavors. Welcome to the show, Suzanne.
Thank you for having me.
We are so excited to have you on. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things about Suzanne, things about Mariners, and things about Buttermilk Kitchen. So I was looking you up. We've chatted in the past, but I also was checking you out online last night. I watched you on TV. Do you want to share with our listeners a little bit about who you are? You have a pretty big footprint online.
Yes, so I'm a chef by trade and kind of just grew up in a family that loved to cook. Was lucky very early on to decide what I wanted to do. So I went to culinary school after college and, started training to be a chef and opened up Buttermilk Kitchen in Atlanta. That's my Atlanta location. That's where I'm from, born and raised. We've had the restaurant there. It's a Southern brunch restaurant for almost 11 years. So that really kind of put me on the map. I am a cookbook author as well. I just finished my second cookbook. So that's really exciting. And it was amazing when we relocated to Maine, I got to write the second half of the book here. So that was very special. It's a seasonal brunch book.
Okay.
So, that kind of, there's so many pieces of the story, but my husband and I took a kind of leap of faith and moved to Maine. We're both from Georgia. He's from a very small town in Georgia. I'm from Atlanta. And kind of left all our friends and family, just fell in love with it up here, wanted to do something totally different. So I think we've been here about 6 or 7 months now. We live in Rockport and stumbled on the Mariners place downtown. Just kind of fell in love with the owners. We just had such a great energy and connection, and organically everything sort of fell in place. I told my team in Atlanta what I wanted to do. I'm very fortunate. My assistant manager stepped up and said, I want to move with you and I want to run the restaurant.
Wow.
So it's an amazing opportunity for him because now I can provide this growth path for a really key person that was looking for an opportunity. So he moved here and the rest is kind of history. So now we're opening and just second location.
That's amazing. And for our listeners, we're recording this in March, but you're going to be listening to it in May and June. So Suzanne has been working on a pretty comprehensive renovation of the restaurant. So, the way that it has looked for the past, was it 80 years? Was it pretty much the same for 80 years?
It's been in existence for 81 years. The previous owners ran it for 41.
Okay.
So there was a fire about 20 years ago.
Okay.
So they put on the whole back addition. It used to be much smaller, added the patio and that whole back part that you see. But to my knowledge, it has not been renovated since then.
Yeah.
So lots of great history in the building, so much cool art and details and things. We wanted to keep all of that, all of the charm. But, there was definitely things that we wanted to update, like, taking out the carpet and changing the paint and just giving it a really nice, facelift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so before, they were those old leathery booths that you slid into. Are you going to have bistro seating style? What kind of tables are going
We're
to be in there?
keeping the booths.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
the layout is very similar to how it was before. We just, updated it, painted it, reupholstered the
Okay.
back booths. And then we still have those. I know everyone's favorite seat were the two little booths overlooking the water.
Mm-hmm.
We still have those, but just changed the tabletops and, updated a little bit. The biggest change that we made was right in the middle of the restaurant was a service station.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually replaced that with a 9-seat breakfast
Oh,
counter.
wow.
So we'll offer full espresso bar. Eventually, we will get our alcohol license, probably about a year out from that. But now it is going to be a full service breakfast counter.
Oh, wow.
Based on my experience from running a breakfast place, people love the breakfast counter, especially being a local place and a community driven place. I think it'll be a really nice addition for people to be able to sit there and catch up. So I'm excited about that.
That's great. And you're keeping the outdoor seating as well, true?
Oh,
Yes?
definitely.
Yeah.
That will not be open till probably May,
Okay.
June, whenever the weather starts to get really nice. But it'll be the same footprint as it was before.
Okay. I just loved going there early in the morning before the sun is like beating down on you at lunchtime. But in the morning, when it's just like the sun is at about a 10 o'clock or even like a 9 o'clock setting in the sky.
Yeah.
It's just so gorgeous, and the falls are right there, and you can see the geese and the cormorants drying their wings and the yachts pulling in. It is the most picturesque thing that I've ever seen.
And I love it because that is the reason, that view was the reason my husband and I decided to move here, was the first time we stepped into that harbor.
Yeah.
And we said, this is it. So yes, getting to see that now as my new office view is great. And what I also love is the kitchen has that same view.
Okay.
And normally in kitchens, they're dark and dingy and hardly ever a window. So I think it's special to let your cooks have a amazing view as well as your customers.
Yeah, that's a perk.
Yeah, because they're cooking all your food. So.
And how often will you be in the restaurant?
Very hands-on in the beginning. I will be there most days, but I've learned from the past that I'm better not being so involved in the operations. I have an amazing team that I trust in. So you'll see me a good bit, but I won't actually be back there cooking everything.
So, there's a huge loyal following here in Camden for Mariners. And I think I've heard some people have questions about what are the hours going to be, because a lot of locals would be lined up for a 6 a.m. open at Mariners in Camden. And also, I think they're wondering about the menu. I mean, obviously, you're from the South. You're going to bring some of that Southern infusion in there. So if you want to talk about times and menu options, I think people will be excited to hear about it.
Yes, we, as far as I know for right now, we have landed on a 7 a.m. opening during the week and 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Go a little bit, and then we'll extend our hours to 3 p.m. on Wednesday and probably stay at 2 p.m. during the week. And we're just going to see how it goes. If there's a really big demand for us to open a little bit earlier, we will certainly explore that, entertain that. If people want us to stay open a little later, again, that's definitely up for negotiations. It's just based off what I've seen in the town and busy times and peak times. That seems to be what will work for us, especially with staffing. Staffing's already hard enough to get.
Yeah. So
pulling people in much earlier than that, I think, will be another challenge. So we're going to see how that goes. As far as menu goes, there were some staples that we heard from the town, the community, that they really wanted certain dishes to stay, that being the corned beef hash, the haddock chowder, the pancakes. I know the pancakes are very similar. We're really known for our pancakes too, and it's a similar recipe. So I think people will be very happy with what we're bringing with that. So it's really a combination of, yes, it's going to be a little bit more Southern influence, but we're going to keep that coastal seafood component to the menu as well. So mixing their favorites with our favorites.
And I know that breakfast was served all day, but they did kind of have a lunch menu. I personally only went for breakfast. I'm a huge breakfast person. Will you have the same menu that's available all day long?
All day long.
Okay.
So yes, you can get French fries at 7 a.m. and pancakes at 2 p.m. That is, for us, we used to switch over to a lunch menu, and it's very challenging. It's challenging for the customers. It's challenging for the cooks. It's challenging for training. So, yes, all day menu.
I'm excited to have some French fries at 7 a.m.
Yeah. And the only thing that will change is Saturday and Sunday will be more of a brunch focused menu. So it'll be a little bit less of the lunch sandwiches and more of just brunch focused items such as like Benedict's. And we do a beet cured gravlax with house-made bagels. So some specialty things that we're going to bring in on the weekend that you won't have during the week.
That's exciting. I feel like there isn't enough of a brunch scene here in Mid-Coast Maine. There's a few places, they're seasonal, maybe they're just open on Sundays. So it's tricky because I am such a brunch person. I know a lot of other people are that way. And then there's tons of visitors that come in the summertime and they're looking to be catered to for brunch. So I think they're going to be in heaven when they learn about you and step in.
We're excited. You know, it's one of the things that I feel like has made us really successful is our niche is that we are chef driven, scratch made. There's not a lot of chefs doing like really focusing on brunch. And I think the reason for that is that you get to experience a little bit more and play around with your food and ingredients and have a little bit higher of food cost to play with when you do dinner service. So that is why you'll see most chefs at dinner service. So I think that it's always been a great opportunity for us and a niche in the marketplace to really just solely focus on delivering a great brunch experience. I'm excited to bring that here. I think it's going to be great.
Well, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too.
I watched Suzanne's episode on Chopped back from 2011 last night, and she had to make a meal with duck testicles.
Yes.
Is that what it was? That was her first challenge, and she made it all the way through. She was the winner. So if she can impress judges with how she prepares duck testicles, we are all set in Camden.
And that will not be on the menu, just to clarify, but yeah, that was a wild experience.
So switching gears for a moment, you have your second cookbook that you have finished. When is that coming out?
That's going to be coming out spring 25.
Okay.
So, and it's a seasonal brunch book, and it's a lot of what you'll find we do a lot of specials on the menu as well, seasonal specials. It's very important to me as a chef, and especially one of the things I love about being in Maine is really cooking what is around you and what is available, whether that be, asparagus at its peak or whatever it is, and really having a relationship with the farmers. So the book follows me through each season of all seasonal brunch things.
Okay.
So I'm very excited. And like I mentioned before, I got to write the fall and part of the winter chapter as I moved to Maine. So it was very exciting. You're going to see all these landscape changes and different seasonal produce and, expect just good comfort recipes, refined, simplistic recipes, but very relatable to the home cook.
We can't wait. So as a chef, I mean, I am not a foodie. I am not a chef for sure. Just ask anyone who's ever tried my cereal for dinner. But are you impressed by the chefs up here? I mean, I feel like...
Totally. Yeah, great food scene here.
Yeah.
What surprises me the most is that most of the chefs seem to be women, which is so fantastic. You don't see as much of that in Atlanta. I mean, there's obviously great female chefs everywhere, but I feel like there is such a big female chef community here, which is amazing to see. But, there are just so many great restaurants that I've got to dine in since I've been here. And there's so many people that are so prideful of their passion and making this small batch, real curated type of food that it's amazing to see.
Do you have any favorites?
Favorite restaurants?
Yeah.
Long Grain is a standout for me.
Yeah.
I always find myself craving their noodles. Primo is another one I really respect and love. I love, that she's got that farm right on site, and that's kind of like the chef dream, right? Oh, there's so many good places.
There are.
Like there's, Rockland has a great food scene too. Sammy's Deluxe is a place I got to try very eclectic, really, really talented chef.
I haven't been there.
Great.
So
It's a really cool place. You know, when I walked in, he had all these like mushrooms he had just foraged sitting out on the table. And, you know, it was just and the food was fantastic. And I think he changes up his menu. And so that was definitely one of my favorites.
well, I'm glad I had you on to tell me this so
Yeah.
I can go check them out.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And everyone, like bagels around here and pastry. Oh, the bakery, the
Oh,
place.
yes. Yeah.
One of the best croissants I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to taste Stone's Throw bread.
Okay.
If you don't know about Stone's Throw,
don't.
you need to know.
Okay.
They sell at Fresh Off the Farm,
Okay.
as well as Sea Folks, a little coffee place in Rockport. And they sell at some markets, and I believe they have a catering company as well. But one of the best loaves of bread I've ever
Really?
tasted. Yeah.
Okay. Going to Fresh Off the Farm today.
There you go.
And check it out. Yeah, like I said, I'm not a foodie, but I keep expecting to exhaust the options for delicious fine dining here, and it hasn't happened. It's been almost 4 years since we moved here, and I can't believe that there's so many wonderful culinary experiences that you can have
Incredible.
within a 10-mile radius of
And
downtown
even Portland,
Camden.
if you want to get out a little bit, Portland's food scene I would put up there with, New York or any other.
Really?
But it's incredible, the talent and what they're doing there it's amazing. It's awesome to see. So it's to be a chef in this region is very exciting.
Yeah. I follow Anestis on Portland Food Map, and I know
Yes,
he's done a
I
feature
love
on you,
him.
and he's such a foodie, and he really knows his stuff,
Mhm.
and he writes beautifully. He takes beautiful photos, and this is like his like hobby gig. It
Yeah.
is not his his 9 to 5, and he does a phenomenal job. So
Yeah.
if anyone listening isn't following Portland Food Map, go do so right now.
And and I know he doesn't just cover Portland. He
Right,
talks
the whole
about all of
state
Maine,
of
and
Maine.
he's given me great
Has
recommendations
he?
about where to find pizza and whatever I ask him for, coffee. So
Let's talk about coffee
yeah,
for a
let's do that.
moment because there are so many great options for coffee
so
here.
many great options.
And that is going to be really tricky. Have you decided on the coffee that you're going?
Haven't
You
yet.
haven't.
We're still tasting. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
One thing that's a little bit different up here that I've noticed from the South is that people up here tend to like a darker roast of flavor, which back south it's they usually like a medium to lighter roast. So that's been different. But there are so many good ones that we have like 4 or 5 that we're tasting right now. It's going to be very challenging to make a decision. So
It's challenging for me when I wake up. Like, where do I want to drive to get my coffee this morning? Because again, 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away, there's so many great options. There's Dan Coffee on the Porch.
I know, he's great.
Rock City, Green Tree up the street in Lincolnville. Dots makes great coffee. Yeah, I mean, I could
The
probably
list
list
goes on.
Yeah, it does.
It's incredible. But and everybody's so nice, and they're what they love to do. It's their craft, it's their passion, and so I love talking to other like-minded people about just and seeing them light up when they talk about their product. It's so special, and so I wish I could use them all. But one of the things that's great about our menu and how we structure it is that we have a lot of specials, and we change our menu every quarter. So you will see us rotating a lot of these vendors and highlighting them.
That's awesome.
Whether it be a pop-up or just a special on the menu, we want to spread the love. So.
Yeah. I think when we talked last, you said you had chosen an espresso.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're
Okay.
whoever does our main coffee will do our espresso as well. Yeah. So we're getting close.
Okay.
We're getting really close. That's on the agenda for the end of the week. So we've got to pick. So
That's great. Do you have a favorite thing that is going to be on the menu that you're like, when I go sit and order my breakfast, this is what I'm going to get?
Oh, gosh. What is my favorite thing? I mean, I love our biscuits. We are known for our biscuits. I'm kind of a simple, I hate to admit this, 'cause I should say like, our chicken biscuit we're very famous for, but I love just like perfectly poached eggs with crispy bacon and a really great piece of toast, or an omelet. It changes. We have a great oatmeal, and we do a lot of specials, so it's really hard. One thing I will say that I'm very excited about, I have a chef. He's from Mexico, my kitchen manager.
Okay.
He's been with me almost 10 years.
Wow.
He has a chilaquiles recipe that will be on the menu. And chilaquiles is one of my favorite breakfast dishes of all time. So, it's going to be a salsa. It's going to be a green chilaquiles. Are you familiar with chilaquiles?
I'm not.
Okay, so I like to describe it as a Mexican lasagna.
Oh, okay.
Or nachos almost. You take corn tortillas and you fry them into chips, and then you douse them in a really good, you can either do red or green salsa. And ours is a green salsa verde.
Okay.
And you kind of toss it into that so the chips get a little soft. And then it's plenty of like cotija cheese and usually topped with eggs. And it's just this awesome, comforting mix of flavors. And
we're both so hungry right now.
Yeah, I'm hungry now, but I'm very excited about that dish to be on the menu.
Okay, that's great. And I think it's a testimony to you as a business owner that your employees have been with you for so long. They're willing to relocate across the country so that they can stay with you. That's amazing.
Lucky. I'm really lucky. I've got a great team. So it's exciting. It is really exciting.
And you're keeping, I think, a couple of the waitresses or one of the waitresses from Mariners.
So we're working on right now kind of calling back several of them. A lot of them were seasonal, but the one that we have for sure is Allie, which, not to be confused with the owner's daughter, Allie, but the other Allie that was there, I believe, about 2.5 years. She's going to come on as our lead server.
Okay.
And she's amazing. She's already been to Atlanta to train and learn how to make the biscuits. And she's really excited. We're very excited to have her. So
Allie is famous for wearing 2 different Converse sneakers.
That's what everybody always asks me. Oh, the Allie with the 2 different shoes. So yeah, we've already actually talked. It's really funny. My manager and I actually talked about, do we need to just like incorporate that into the uniform?
Would be so fun.
And we're like, we just have to let her wear it. So. But yeah, she's great. She's really great. Rockland raised girl, knows all the regulars. So we're very fortunate to have her on the team.
We're glad that she'll be staying too, because she's just really warm, like a really lovely person to start your day with.
Yes.
At 6 a.m. when you haven't had any coffee yet, like her smile and greeting.
She's happy to be there.
Yeah.
It's great to have people like that because it's so much more. I think the restaurant industry, we're in the people business, obviously, and it's so much more than just how good the food is, and you really have to create that experience for people. So hospitality is very important to me, and that that customer service element. So.
Well, we're gonna get ready to wrap up here, but we can't finish without talking about what you're famous for, and then also, what would you say that Buttermilk Kitchen is famous for?
So for me, I guess what's exciting now is that I'm actually starting my own brand as well and branching off with this second cookbook, which will hopefully lead to 3 or 4 or many others. So I think right now, maybe most known for my cookbook writing. And Buttermilk Kitchen is definitely famous for its biscuits and its fried chicken and its chicken biscuit.
I don't think I've ever had a chicken biscuit. So
yeah, I'm hoping that it translates well up here, but it's delicious. It's a sweet tea brined piece of fried chicken on a buttermilk drop biscuit slathered with homemade pepper jelly. And it's a little bit spicy, a little bit sweet, and people just freak out about it. So I'm hoping the same will be true for up here.
We'll see, right? I mean, it sounds amazing. Yeah. I think people are going to be really excited. Especially, we also get tons of people from the South that come up here.
I've met tons of people that even live here from the South. So yeah, it's really cool in that way. I think that you get all these different types of people, and I'm excited to see what they like.
Yeah. How can people follow you online?
So our Instagram is going to be Buttermilk Camden, or at Buttermilk Camden. And we are working on the website right now as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
So that will also be
Camden.
buttermilkcamden.com.
Yes.
And you can follow my Instagram. It's at Chefy Suzanne, Suzanne. I try to, keep that current as well.
Yeah, you do.
I'm a little busy right now. So, but yeah, you can find us easily, and doors will be open April 25th.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening. To learn even more about what makes Mid-Coast Maine so special, visit our website at camdenfamous.com or head over to Instagram where you can find us at Camden Famous.